Hi everyone, my name is Sandeep Sidhu, Senior SAP Business ByDesign Consultant, and today we will be discussing the Compliance and Convenience Pack for SAP Business ByDesign offered exclusively by Phoenix Business Consulting. Okay, so we can start by talking about our positive pay file as part of the Compliance Pack. So positive pay is a fraud prevention system. And this is basically a functionality that facilitates protection for your organization from fraud. So the concept is that bank customers send a file to their bank, and what the bank does is compare that information of presented checks against previously transmitted check information for that account, and then flags discrepancies accordingly. Of course, when discrepancies are found, the bank can withhold payment until verification occurs, which can prove to be vital for organizations in terms of preventing fraudulent checks from being cashed in the first place. So here are some of the main points for the positive pay file as part of our compliance pack. So the file is generated pretty easily as part of a two-step process. Phoenix will customize the output file based on the bank's unique requirements where applicable. Some banks need CSV, some need text, some want it comma separated, some want it fixed with base files. And so the point is that we have the ability to customize that file based on any bank that is used. To the external exchange rate synchronization. So we can connect the system to multiple exchange rate providers based on your needs and nationalized banks. So we can define the list of currency pairs required for exchange rates, and there is built triangulation logic to calculate conversion rates. So let's assume a company is doing business in Europe. Their requirement is we want to try everything off the base rate of EUR. Let's assume they're doing business in Britain, in GBP, and in USD. In this case, they would need to maintain conversion rates between British pounds and euros, as well as US dollars and euros. But if you need to find out the conversion rate between US dollars and GBP, you will not directly take that from the pack. You would pick up GBP versus euro and US dollars versus euro and divide them to be able to find the existing exchange rate between GBP and USD. With triangulation logic, you can determine rates which can help and potentially also help with legal requirements in regards to exchange rates as well. We allow calculation of rates based on triangulation logic. You can go in and choose those settings, as in what are your base currencies, what are your two currencies you want to find based on the triangulation logic. So those are things that can be controlled. You can do calculation of monthly, weekly averages. They're normally used for consolidation of exchange rate gains and losses. As an example, if I created a sales order today, the company in Europe and the company wants money in euros, if I'm going to pay in USD, what the company will do is apply the exchange rate and use the equivalent in amount in US dollars. Now, when you go to invoice, the exchange rate could be different. So then the adjustments can take place automatically on that day because you maintain monthly, weekly averages. So a great solution for exchange rates as part of the pack. Moving on to the customized approval matrix. So ByDesign does have a process to maintain the approval. There is a standard process. However, if your approval matrix is complicated and it needs to touch upon additional business logic and additional custom calculations which aren't straightforward, then this development will come in very handy. There's no functionality in standard to maintain any data on Excel either. You can maintain multiple versions of approvals that you have in Excel with this solution and choose when you want to switch between different approval processes as well. They can be externally saved in Excel, and then you can activate them in the system at your own personal convenience. So a ton of control over approvals with this solution as part of our convenience and compliance pack. Now moving forward here to journal entry controls. Now, ByDesign does not have any approval process for journal entry controls. That just simply does not exist. It does exist, however, here in our development on journal entry controls. It allows you to maintain a list of approvers, so you can have an approver for each user. And for each user, you can define the approval with specific validity periods. So you can have different individuals for each quarter of the year if you would like to do so. You can also maintain a complete log of approvers in the system, and you can define who was approving when. You can also maintain a complete audit log of changes, and that log is also something that is only provided here with our development in the pack. This is also an audit requirement in general, to have some control over journal entries. So if your company is big on compliance, this solution handles the audit requirements process extremely well. Moving forward to the audit log for supplier master data. Now, a high number of fraud has of course been reported associated to change in banking and other information of the vendors in systems. So what this solution aims to do is record all changes to the vendor master data and record all changes to the banking data for all suppliers, which is some of the most sensitive information in systems today. You receive customized email notifications to a pre-designated list in case of changes so that you're always up to date. And you can even define a whitelist of all the users that are eligible to edit the vendor list so that you're in control of what happens before it happens at all. Moving on to the document center. So you can maintain a centralized document repository in the system. Let's use an example. If your company is big enough to do business with Dell, let's say, and every time you buy a laptop, you have a specific set of agreements, maintenance, and maybe specifications of the laptop, then what you can do is put it in a document and upload that into the system. Then this document will be used for purchase orders. Now, this document is only relevant for Dell, so you can associate this document automatically to a purchase order or supplier invoice for Dell with this solution. You can also go back and update the document. So a key solution, and the common issue without this functionality is that every now and then the document that only points to Dell could be updated, and so when that document is updated, you can't really go into every PO and update that document manually. But in this case, with our solution, you maintain one document in a central location and you refer to that document in a PO or anything else. Next is project to sales quotes. So you can create a detailed quotation using the ByDesign projects. A key example is construction. When you're in construction or running a project with construction, you are using people as well as buying materials, services, etc. There may also be milestone-based billing, and in that case, you want to define the quotation as if you are implementing it. And this lets you create a quotation with milestones and specific services and materials to be used for every single milestone. In the standard functionality, you add line items in a sales order. That may not work if you have a complicated customer project to work on. You're very specific, let's say, on what material you want to buy at specific stages. And if you have that level of planning and that level of quotation, then this solution becomes a key functionality in the system to utilize. So really, if you want to provide a high level of quotation for customers, and if you want to convert this project into a sales quote in one easy step, this is the solution for you. Moving forward to mapping interface for shopping catalogs. And this is relevant for external shopping catalogs. So why do we need this? Every external catalog, the product categories may have their own product codes or unit of measure codes, etc. completely and basically at their own convenience and at their own standard. So whenever you shop from an external catalog like Home Depot, Office Depot, Amazon, etc., you can maintain mappings in the system, and that would be through this solution. You can maintain mapping for suppliers, product categories, products, and units of measurement, to name a few. So here are some of the templates you can use as part of this solution for data upload purposes as well. You can maintain a complete audit log. If you upload 10 files every day, as an example, and an invoice gets created in the system, but one of them has an outstanding issue, this solution actually allows you to backtrack and find the exact file that is the source of the issue. Because you maintain an audit log, you can actually do this months after the files have been uploaded. Normally, what the issue is that after you upload, the file's gone or lost in your laptop. It would be difficult to find and it isn't maintained anywhere else, but this solution fixes that issue quite nicely. Here are some bullet points on the customized upload templates as well. And moving forward now to the check template, MICR Encoded. So a default template that we create as part of this solution for outbound check with MICR encoding. So this makes the check printing with MICR coding easier, so your check can easily be recognized by the scanner in the bank that reads the magnetic ink. This is very helpful as a solution for doing business with your bank. So that concludes our presentation on Convenience and Compliance Pack at Phoenix Business Consulting. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.